Greetings everyone and welcome back to Sorcery 3, the 7 serpents. Yeah, last time I rewind a bit too much, but I give it a thought and I wonder, because the snake is on very bottom of the well, so what I'm thinking is I could try put the sun jewel. Sun, yeah, this is the one. Put the sun jewel down in the bucket and lower the bucket. With some effort you get the handle of the well to turn and lower the bucket down into the well shaft. Oh man, I hope I will be able to lower it only halfway down. Lower the bucket all the way to the end of the rope. The light from the jewel paints walls with light. You notice something gleaming in the wall of the well halfway down. It's hard to see. Oh yeah, so this is what I managed to do actually. Not lowering it all the way down so the snake can't get into the bucket. Clever me. Let's... Now, how do we get down there without making the rope break? I'm thinking fall, float and air. You cast the spell lightening your body weight into the mere fraction of the normal. Float down the well. I think this should work. With your weight reduced to almost nothing, you climb into the well and guide yourself down with your fingertips. You hold your position close to the crystal of the rock, fingers and toes are scratched. Who said the Aiedail sword? The seam of the crystal is quite beautiful. The soft rock walls are studded with fists and lamps of the green and blue gem glass. There must be fortune down here, perhaps even a layered strata of the pure wealth. If only the backlands could be mined by the king of the Aiedail. What's the difference? I want to know. Let's try normal Aiedail swords for whatever reason. Using your old sword awkwardly in the narrow confines of the well shaft, you dig a fistful of gems out of the wall of the well shaft. You cannot catch them and they fall, but thankfully land in the bucket a short distance below you. You have blunted the edge of your blade in the process, however. Okay, so I blunted my old sword, which I don't use anymore. Should I dig for more? Should I be greedy? Or climb back up? I think I should climb back up. I don't want my spell wearing off. Not wanting to risk the spell wearing off, you climber quickly back up the rope. Nice. You pull yourself over the edge of the well. Just in time, you land on the dust, heavily feeling your way to the turn. You turn the old creaking handle, raising the bucket up the shaft. You haul the bucket over the side of the well and look into it. Your sun jewel is inside, still glowing. The bottom of the bucket is also filled with uncut gemstones and glittering rocks. This haul must be worth scores of gold pieces. You scoop out the gems from the pocket and put them gleefully into your money pouch. And excellent find! You retrieve your sun jewel as well. Its glow is fading. The gems are an assortment of different types of stone and will require an expert to sort value and cut them, but the sheer size of them is jaw-dropping, several the size of eggs, and one the size of a small cat. Pleased with your work, you stride away from the well. Man, that was... I'm really happy I chose this path. You leave the ancient building behind, and quite suddenly you find yourself violently coughing. You weren't coughing a moment ago, of course. There is a lot of dust in the air from the fallen temple, but then you coughed again, and lifting your hand to your mouth, you notice the vivid yellow pimples on the back of your hand. You stare at your hand. It is a yellow plague. Clearly, the old man was infected and gave it to you when he hooked you in the cellar. Oh, fuck my life. There is nothing else for it. You struggle on across the plain, feeling yourself growing weak already. Pray for cure from the plague. You close your eyes and raise the prayer to turf. Miraculously, the wells on your hands begin to fade, and you feel yourself getting stronger once more. Oh, thank God I didn't use this. Pray. Ooh, that was pretty scary actually. Okay. Let's head east. You walk on, climbing slightly across the dusty steps. The afternoon is starting to draw on. You notice something white, stark, against the grate of the dust. You wipe away the dust from the object. It is short, dirty, wide, and gently carved. It is just a silver of cool white visible through the tiny, dusty scrap. Something is buried here. You dig around the object and find two similar objects to the left and right of it. They lie parallel in the dirt. You squat down on your heels and dig in the dirt a little more. Eventually you uncover three short white rods, and at the moment it becomes obvious that they are finger bones of a hand clenched into a fist. The fist points upwards as though its owner had been buried standing upright in the soil. You keep digging. The fist gives way to wrist and then an arm. It is though the creature was trying to climb out when the soil and the land closed over its head. As you go lower, the bones start to accumulate. A leathery coating. At first you think it is sheer remains of a coat, but then once you locate an anchor and sail tattoo, it becomes clear it is a skin somehow preserved into the soil. You are now into serious digging, which is hard work. You pause to take a break every 5 minutes and stop once more when you have the figure rooted down the waist. Its skull is dried leather ball with two grey-brown eyes shrunken into the sockets. It wears a metal ring through its nose, and the remains of a beard are just visible. Its jacket is better preserved, its collar faded, but its buttons still intact. It wears a small three-cornered hat. Sticking just above the waist are the remains of some kind of harness. It is possible this figure had a false leg. It's a pirate! Arr! You rifle through a figure's jacket but find nothing of interest in its pockets, not even one gold piece. Around his neck, however, you find a small metal whistle, which you take. So I was right, this thing there is eagle nest from a ship. It's just like overgrown because something happened in the past, which is pretty cool. I like that. Should we just like steal what we can? You take the hat from the creature's head, but it is of little use. It crumbles to dust in your hand. More interesting is what is left behind under the figure's thin covering of hair. You can see a leathery scalp inked with another tattoo. You examine the tattoo carefully. It shows two long thick lines that come together to form a V. At the top, another stroke crosses, so the shape becomes an inverted A. Inside the top of the A, net the tip is black X. Inside of an O. Perhaps it's a map, but if so, it's surely too vague to read. Should we just get him out of there? You quickly scoop the dirt from around the pit back into the covering the ghoulish figure up once more. There is now less trace of the figure than when you first found it. You continue the journey. Oh yeah, so I guess that's something. You keep moving, the ground dropping a little slowly. The sun begins to make its way back down to the sky. The sudden sound of voices to your right startles you. Oh, they are creepy. You spin around to see 7-headed shapes squatting on the ground playing some sort of weird game, chanting in a curious tongue. I don't think I want to mess with those guys. Look at them. Holy fuck, this is not good. You listen closely to the voices, then stiffen as you realize one is calling you by your name. What? We have awaited you, it breathes. You have made good time to us. We are the 7 spirits. Come, join us. This is a trap. It's always a trap. Where do you approach? Who are those creatures? How do they know your name? Will they offer advice or are they dangerous? As their skull masks faces suggest. The spirits rise from the ground as you approach, gliding silently to the air, passing through one another as they mingle and caress you, linking hands. "Caution is understable," whispers a single voice of 7 in tight illusion, "but fear us not." "How can you help me?" "We can give you a knowledge. A chant we know will protect you from all harm." "Show me your true forms," you demand suspiciously. "Very well," replies one of the spirits, "if that is what you wish." A transformation begins to occur. Under their clothes their faces are moving as if the bones are rearranging, but you cannot see exactly what is occurring. "Stop. Show me your faces." If this is a 7 spirits, I have like bad feeling this has something to do with 7 serpents, but show me your faces. One of the spirit pulls down its cowl and the sight revealed makes you freeze in terror. It now has the head of the hissing serpent. I know it. Something will be like that. Run for it. You turn to run, but your way is blocked by another spirit who lowers its hood. There's another serpent, larger but with the same markings on its face and above its evil eyes. "Are you the 7 serpents?" you demand. The serpent shakes its head. "We are but one serpent." Another lowers its hood, and then you understand this new serpent is the same creature again, but only older and weaker. The 7 spirits are one serpent, at different points of its life. "I see you understand," the spirits declare. "We are the serpent of time, and we shall devour you." The clouds begin to churn in the sky, then a loud crack breaks the stillness as bolt of the lightning skewers the place where the 7th spirit stands. The light clears, and then they have vanished. You look up. The sky overhead seems to be breaking. The dome of the sky is now lighted eye, cracking open. Something like a clouded hand has hold of you and spilling you towards the top of the low mount. The ground itself is transforming into a face, and you are walking into its wide open smile. You struggle and stride, but there is nothing fight but the wind. Your heels score tracks in the dust. The force on you is like 100 invisible hands. Then you are above the wide open jaws of the face in the ground. You are to be devoured. You raise the sword to swing, but stumble back under the weight of it. Your arm seems to be unable to lift the blade, but no. Looking down, you see your legs are suddenly thin, and your hands are thin and bony. Reaching up to your face, you find your hair is coming away in clumps, and the wrinkles are spreading over your skin. The serpent laughs. "The jaws of the time are unescapable," it roars. You look up to the heavens, intending to cast a spell, but you cannot see the stars anymore. Your eyes have grown blurry and unfocused, and the night swims as if you were underwater. You tumble to the ground and hear the snap as the bones in your hip and pelvis give out. The serpent shifts closer. They won't give me mercy. You open your mouth to cry out, and your teeth scatter to the ground. A moment later, you cannot see. Another moment, and you are nothing but a skeleton. You stare out toward bone-dead eyes. You are nothing but cold bones, but then the winds drop once more. The clouds roll back, the steps are clearing, you feel yourself becoming young once more. Bones strangling and skin tightening, whatever was pulling you towards death has released its grasp. You turn to see a gigantic shape lift into the ground and swoop away northeast. It leaves a strange trail as it flies, and the wind from its movement knocks you to the ground. You stagger backwards, glad to be alive and keen to leave this accursed place. Whoa, that was quite creepy, wasn't it? Man, just reading that gave me some chills, to be honest. Hey, you know what I'm thinking? The serpent, as he flies, he changed the time. So this is more of like He changed the time between the places he goes to, I'm thinking. As I said, this is... there was water earlier here. It's why we had a pirate, and it's why we have this thing here. Man. Let's go northeast. Let's just carry on. Ooh, the music. You set off across the steppes with an easy stride, but the firm dusty ground becomes spongy, and after a while you are no longer walking on firm ground, but rather stringly between wide-height weeds in a deep and stench-filled marsh. Days are short out here. The evening is drawing in. It will be dark soon. You approach the edge of the mountains, and the base of an old stone tower carved from the cliff face itself. From the battlements of the tower protrudes a strange brass cylinder nestled between the stones is a large closed wooden door. You knock on the door. There is no reply. You try the door to the tower. It's locked, but the wood is unsheathed and rotten and could most likely be easily broken. You take a run up, then charge to the door, smashing straight through the tumbling to the floor inside. You pick yourself up off the ground only to find yourself staring into the snarling jaws of a wolfhound. It is clearly half mad with starvation. There is no time and no choice but fight. Oh, that was amazing. The wolfhound crouches low, then sprees for your throat. You dodge and roll as the creature falls deep onto the blade of your sword. The creature howls in pain as the wolfhound weakly opens its jaws to bite. You plunge your blade between its teeth, and all the way down to its heart, the wolfhound howls, and grudging blood-socket sound that rings inside the tower. And then it dies. No stamina lost. Flawless fighting. Very nice. You wipe your broadsword and gasp for breath as you look around the room. The white tower base is empty except for a flight of spiral stars leading up to the hatch in the ceiling overhead. You try to ignore the smell of the wet blood that fills the chamber and search the gloomy arches under the spiraling staircase. In a forgotten corner you unearth the 3 gold pieces and a strange mass of green fur. Take everything. You put the gold into the purse and the fur, which turns out to be a wig, into your backpack. Time to leave this gloomy place. Yeah, I knew this is what is on top of those towers. Let me go up. You clamber up to the spiral stairs to the hatch and go through onto the roof of the tower. The cool wind of the steps hits you full in the face, snatching your breath away. The tower stands on the slope of one of the horns themselves, looking out over the hall of the steps. Set into the floor here is a bearing track on which a brass cylinder rests. A blue crystal is set into its length. There are powerful, unusual stars here. You go over to the battlement and lean out. Looking north, you can see the edge of the thick and verdant forests. The fabled trees of Snata. You heard about them, as a boy of course, but never dreamed you would see them for yourself. Between here is nothing but the level flats of the steps, lying like the scales on the serpent's back. A thin column of the smoke rises from a point just before a tree line. You look away from the view once more. This tower was clearly built to house the brass contraption in the center of the turret. You look in over there with curious interest. A large brass cylinder is set into a bearing in the center of the tower and protrudes a short way over the battlement. It is rather like one of the Chief Mage's telescopes, but why would anyone set such a complex device out here in the wastes? You crunch to look through the cylinder, but find you cannot, as it has no eyepiece. The near and disappears unbroken into the brass mounting of the device. The bearing underneath the cylinder looks as taut as it might allow the contraption to move. Furthermore, set in the central dome, it is an impressive-looking blue crystal. The blue crystal is not a gem you recognize. It pulls with a smile interior glow as though something lived inside. You touch the crystal, but as your fingers brush the glove, something happens and you feel yourself wiped up into the air as catapult. For a dizzy moment you seem to stare down at the entire land of Badubak. Then a moment later you are back on your feet, head reeling but feeling curiously powerful. It healed me. How nice. I feel I shouldn't touch it again. I feel like this screwed me over, so I gonna step back. You step back fearful but curious. The blue crystal on the contraption is flashing brilliantly, and then suddenly the cylinder ignites with a thick beam of sharply light. The beam floats across the landscape, cutting through the mists and wrapping the view like a heat haze. Check this out! Oh my god, this is awesome! I wouldn't expect something like that in this game. Oh man, I love it, but what are we looking for? Wow! Oh man, I love this. But can I like unlock something here? Because there is another one. I don't think we can look much further. As you can see, the bridge is alright in this other timeline? Should I just call it timeline? I'm not sure. Yeah, but other than that, I don't think there is anything. The well is still there. Wait, if the well is still there, is this like future time then? It might be, right? Oh man, I'm so confused. I don't really know. How do I get there? I don't know either. Well, I think this is all what is to see here. You adjust the beam around its track, sweeping light over the land below. Heal disease. That's new. I'm just checking, can I... Teleportation requires green ring. Oh, the sorceress had this green ring in this hat. But I don't see there is anything. See the future. Requires a crystal orb. This might be spell which is required to like change dimension maybe. What I did notice, I think, because I think I can leave it like that and this will like keep be here, but I don't think I can make like this bridge to be complete. I don't see anything of interest. In fact, I think not having this beam on this forest might be more useful than have it, because there is no paths and I don't see myself like swimming. Let's leave it like that, just to see will it like have any effect. You shift the brass cylinder and step back to regard its defects. You climb down the stairs of the base of the tower. Oh yeah, I was right. That's pretty cool. The door at the tower base is open and looks out onto the saggy marsh. Time to move along. I really love this. This is pretty cool mechanic, quite unique. You step out of the tower once more. You are still some distance from the shores of the Lakala Ikalala, and the voyage you must take across its waters to Lower Zeman. The mountains to the east are impassable. The only way to walk is back across the rocks. Yeah, this might be an issue, but I think I'm gonna... I didn't cover much ground, but I think since I record for like 30 minutes, that should be good enough for this episode, I think. I hope you're enjoying this series. Man, it really gets more interesting, isn't it? Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'm gonna see you next time. Farewell.